Hunter, was it? Thank you for not making a bigger deal about my arrival. I know my presence unnerves many.
You surprised me earlier, and I do not like surprises, but any friend of Peter is a friend of mine.
I am relieved to hear it. You have a wonderful home and a great many resources. I look forward to making use of them.
How do you think you will help?
I am the world's foremost authority on vampire physiology. Blade knows a great deal about vampire rituals, habits, and social order, but he doesn't understand their biology.
Why should that matter?
In a sense, you could say Blade can take a vampire apart, but he can't put one back together.
I do not want to put vampires back together.
Oh, of course not. Let me put it like this. If you understand the structure of an organism, you'll know its weak points, where to push so it falls apart. This is what I offer you.
Then let me officially welcome you to the Midnight Suns.
You will not regret this. Now, can you show me where we keep the prisoners? I would like to feast.
What?
Only kidding. I think you'll be happy to know that I've actually already started researching vampire biology.
That sounds like good news.
Unfortunately, I also have bad news. I've been tinkering with a prototype gamma serum that suppresses the effects of sunlight on vampiric membranes. The vampires have taken that from me.
Then we must take it back.
That is why I'm here. And I would love to get back to that research. Unless you have further need of me.
I want to know a little more about you first.
Naturally. I am an open book.
Who were you before you became a vampire?
I was born with a rare, degenerative blood condition. My disease would have proven fatal if I had not taken matters into my own hands and experimented on my body using vampire bat DNA. I cured myself, but there were side effects.
I've heard you called a living vampire. What does that mean?
It means that unlike most vampires, I have a pulse.
How is this possible?
Most vampires are tied to the supernatural realm. They are undead creatures. My gifts are a boon of science. I am wholly unique in that way. Quite literally a freak of nature.
I would like to know more about your capabilities.
Like a traditional vampire, I possess enhanced strength, speed, acute senses. An accelerated healing factor allows me to bounce back from otherwise mortal injuries. And while I cannot fly in the traditional sense, I have the psionic ability to glide over great distances.
Do you share other vampiric weaknesses?
One of the advantages of being a living vampire is that I do not have those Achilles heels. I could drink holy water all day, and a silver bullet stings like a lead one. One slight exception is daylight. I do not burn under the sun, but my eyes are sensitive to the light, and my powers are somewhat dampened during the daytime.
Do you have to consume blood like any other vampire?
Regrettably, not only do I need to consume human blood, I crave it. But you do not need to worry. I keep my cravings in check these days, and only feed on those who prey on others.
You seem to know Blade and Spider-Man well. What is your impression of them?
When I first became the living vampire, I struggled with my baser instincts. It took me a while to maintain control over my appetite. Spider-Man and Blade were the first two heroes I encountered, and they protected many innocent people from my wrath.
You mean they fought you?
Yes. But I am grateful, because they encouraged me to become a better man. Though I wish Blade's approach hadn't been nearly so ferocious.
Never mind. I will let you settle in.
Happy to talk anytime.
Yo, got a sec? If Blade is worried about this guy, he must be dangerous. I want to see him in action. Hey Hunter, Parker and I cooked something up and we think you should be a part of it. Oh, you know, if you're free.
I am intrigued, but not committed.
It's technical. That's the whole idea. First we show you around the shop and... oops. Almost spoiled the surprise. Tell you what, if you come with me, just for a bit, I promise we won't waste your time.
All right. Where are we headed?
Oh, it's not too far. I can't wait till you see it.
Hey, you made it!
Told you.
You want to give the rundown, or should I?
I got this. Welcome to the shop.
What is this place?
For me, it's a piece of home away from home.
Quite a setup. What need does it fulfill?
All kinds. Usually, I work on the Hell Ride, and Parker tinkers with his web gadgets. And as we do, we brainstorm ideas of what we could work on together.
You call it the shop, but I see nothing for sale.
That's the beauty. For me, it's an auto shop. For Parker, it's a workshop. We're both wondering what it's going to be for you.
There must be a reason you do this here instead of the Forge.
2 reasons. Tony Stark and Doctor Strange. We wanted a place with good vibes and less bickering. Where we could focus on a project without the smartest men in the world telling us how to do it better. The shop is where you work things out for yourself.
I understand why the two of you are here, but why invite me?
Caretaker always described you as someone who worked with their hands. You made things. You did the work. So we want to make things with you. Help you do the work.
The caretaker used to tell me to pick up my clothes from the floor. Every day.
Sounds like you and Nico have something in common. Why not let Parker give you a quick rundown on our current project? After that, we'll close up the shop.
All right.
It's all pretty neat, huh? There's not enough here to give you a tour, but I did want to show off our first project. Don't have a name for this yet, but if you run into Eddie again, Venom, we think this could give you an edge. When we fought Eddie, the symbiote reacted strongly to your presence. It noticed something about you and tensed up. Our project takes advantage of this.
This project of yours, what does it do?
Our first prototype dulls your presence around the symbiote. Makes you harder for Eddie to notice.
So, a symbiote muffler?
Ha! It is now. The other prototype will help if you're ever caught in Eddie's tendrils. It blasts a distracting subsonic pulse that should give you time to both fight your way out and hit him with a counter.
Like your zingers that keep him distracted?
You know, Robbie and I should let you name all our projects. Then we need to miniaturize it so it fits in your suit. But we could have it ready pretty quick.
If I had a web shooter, you could spend more time in the shop.
Maybe, but you'd probably glue yourself to the floor. And what would that do to the great and mighty Hunter's reputation? Oh yeah, I can scrounge enough components to finish this project, but if there were more, we'd have more options. I'll put together a list and send it to your Spark. Bring what you can next time you're here.
All right.
So, how'd it turn out?
Better than expected.
Sick. So, that's the shop. What do you think?
You and Parker have outdone yourselves.
Then think of what the 3 of us can do. I'll give you a heads up before shop class meets again.
Shop class?
Right. That's what we're calling our time here. See you then.
Me, if I'm sticking around?
Walked into that one.
Like a spider web? What do you say?
Dude, don't make me roll up a newspaper.
Not many of those left. Good for me, bad for democracy. But yeah, I'll be around. Thanks for giving Morbius a shot, Hunter. I hope I didn't abuse your trust. Sorry we didn't give you a heads up before. You know, about bringing a vampire into the Abbey. It all happened kind of fast.
Are you sure we can trust Morbius?
Yeah. Morbius has his demons, but he's a teddy bear. A snarly teddy bear. With fangs. But there's stuffing in there, somewhere.
This is not helping your argument.
What I'm trying to say is that Morbius has a good heart. And exceptionally good blood.
Good blood?
Yeah. Whatever Morbius did to transform his body infused the heme in his blood with curative properties. I'd love to help him study it further, if I ever have the time. Since we're fighting new breed vampires, we'd do well to have a living vampire in our corner.
Anything else on your mind?
What do we know about Sin?
Apparently, she's a vampire. A vamp classic, not the new breed. That was news to me. Before that, S.H.I.E.L.D. knew her as a decently competent Hydra luminary. Sin always got a ton of leeway because she's Red Skull's grandkid.
Red Skull?
The yin to Steve's yang. Founded Hydra, fought on the wrong side of World War II, and had a nasty itch for world domination.
Do you think Sin could be working for my mother?
She and Faustus used to fight like a sack of rats. Whatever her game is, Hydra as a whole doesn't seem to be a part of it.
What can you tell me about this new breed?
Well, from a spotty centuries-old reference and the data we've collected, new breed vampires are basically fangs, claws, and a bottomless stomach. They live to feed. But they don't drink blood. They eat people whole.
Can they turn humans into vampires?
Well, they create new hemolisks from whatever they can't digest. Strange suggested some kind of dark magic regurgitation.
The boundaries of dark magic are ever expanding.
And gross. I won't mind if they shrink a little.
How do classic vampires differ from new breed vampires?
These Zoomer vampires are more outgoing. They hunt in packs and don't seem to care if anyone notices them. They have similar weaknesses, sunlight still kills them, but not everything lines up. No need to invite them in, they're happy to smash through the door. Oh, and while they don't turn people into vampires, they can infect classic vampires who then serve as portable hemolisks for the new breed.
What happens if Hydra successfully replicates Morbius's prototype sample?
Sunproof vampires seem like a bad idea for all involved.
Maybe not for the vampires.
For now, it's just a scary theory. Even if it works, there could be side effects, like new breed vampires bursting into flame upon contact with oxygen. Yeah, wishful thinking, but prototypes can be unpredictable. Just to ask Hank Pym about Ultron.
Thanks, Carol.
Catch you later.
Doctor, meet the doctor. Now the Abbey has as many PhDs as you'd find on your average golf course.
We've met. Dr. Morbius. So good to see you again.
Doctor Strange, still patrolling the spiritual realm, I see. I'd love to get set up as quickly as possible in here. Start learning the lay of the land so I can help out.
Well, set up your little test tubes anywhere you'd like. Just don't touch any of my stuff.
And there are several mystical artifacts in here that no one should look at directly.
Don't look and don't touch. You'll really know how to make a colleague feel at home.
Just remember that's only an expression. And you don't actually own any of this.
But we really are glad to have you.
I can tell.
Stephen, have you worked with Morbius before?
Oh yes, he is a formidable ally. He once assisted me in a battle against a Fear Lord from the Dream Dimension.
Fear Lords are powerful foes.
Yes, it was a boisterous battle, so I was pleased to have Morbius at my side. Undoubtedly, he will be a favorable ally against Lilith as well.
So you have no reservations about letting him stay in the Abbey?
None at all. As long as he doesn't grow too hungry, we'll all be fine.
Wait, what should we do if he gets hungry?
We should all be on guard.
Stephen, I need details.
As with any vampire, he could lose control and eat every one of us, but I do not think that will happen.
Tony, what is your impression of Morbius?
Well, we've never actually met, but Strange talks highly of him.
I am uncomfortable inviting a vampire to live in the Abbey.
Hey, I know what you mean. Half the people on my board of directors are vampires. Not literal bloodsuckers, but they definitely try to sink their teeth into you. Or your pocketbook.
Maybe.
The guy's a freak, no doubt. But every genius is. You should have seen half my professors back at MIT. Or that Tony Stark guy who's always in the news. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I've read a few of Morbius's papers on DNA manipulation, and it's years ahead of anyone else. He could be a valuable asset.
So you think we can trust him?
Well, I never said that. But he could be useful.
As long as Morbius is around, Hunter, you better watch your back and your front.
Blade, are you actually comfortable with Morbius living here?
Comfortable? I'll never be comfortable around that monster. But if I'm being generous, he could be useful.
I am grateful to have another able warrior on our side.
You sound like Peter. Naive.
What exactly is your history with Morbius?
I don't like getting into that.
But the two of you have fought before. What makes you think we can trust him now?
I never said we could trust him. If that man loses control to his bloodthirst, I'll end him myself. But the vampires are using his experiments against us. We need him to clean up his own mess.
So Morbius is just a tool to you?
Call it whatever you want. I call it practical.
Pale skin goes with everything, but black is best.
Doctor, you are a renowned scientist.
Of course. My body is a living testament to my skills at genetic manipulation. And my hubris.
And you have some experience working with gamma radiation.
Ah, I see where this is going. Captain Marvel's quest to find a gamma specialist. Unfortunately, your needs may be beyond even my expertise.
You may be the closest thing we have to a gamma expert right now. Tell me what you do know.
Gamma is electromagnetic radiation that manifests in 3 forms: a wave, a particle, and, in extreme cases, a mutagenic. My research centered entirely on that 3rd field. Unfortunately, you need someone with a more holistic understanding of the science.
I see.
But please, come to me when Hydra starts infusing ancient artifacts with vampire bat DNA.
What drove you to study medicine, Doctor?
I know what it's like to feel suffocated by a disease. I wanted to help others avoid my fate.
When I was a child, a doctor wanted to use leeches to cleanse my blood of impurities.
A barbaric practice. Although I once considered using leeches in my experiments.
Before you discovered vampire bats?
No, I was worried I might accidentally turn myself into a human leech.
I believe you are a good man.
Thank you for saying so. But I was not always the man you know.
You are haunted by your past, but your past does not define you.
I was full of selfish ambition. I used my resources to further my own goals over the needs of others.
Would you do things differently if you had the chance?
Of course.
Then you have grown into a better person.
I see. Then may I never stop growing. You have outdone yourself, Hunter.
Hey, can I ask a favor? Thanks, Hunter.
I have something for you.
A bag of fruit mashems?
Components for shop class.
Almost as good.
Why do you think vampire rhymes with fire? Let me show you.
Could we speak in private?
Will this lead to the two of us shouting at one another?
I cannot see how.
Then yes.
Nico needs help prepping for a magic surprise party.
A surprise party? Have you met Magic?
Why do you say that?
Oh, just a feeling. What does Nico want from me?
Can you handle the cake?
Of course. The trick will be hiding the icing. Magic's sweet tooth can lead her to cupcakes at 50 paces.